Okay guys, in this video we're going to talk about Planet X and the newest updates that are available to you right now. After I talk about Planet X, I'm going to make another video, and it's going to be about Project Bluebeam, the fake alien invasion, and how it's going to be actual military that are going to pretend with their high-tech technology that they're aliens. So anyways, let's continue. Now, as you're looking here on the screen, this is a weather pattern that was caught day before yesterday. Okay, and this, you got all the names there. Um, it's over by Turkey somewheres, Romania, Hungary. Okay, this is a 3,000 mile wide or long storm system. Okay, now look at the shape of it. Just take a very good look at the shape of that and tell me if that doesn't resemble something that looks like this. See, what I did was I did an enhanced photo of what people have been taking pictures of or video of Planet X in the sky. Now, down below at the bottom is what people have been taking video of Planet X in the sky. Now, if you notice, there are a few similarities to this, quite a few. Not only is the tail very similar, except for the top kind of points downward, this one points upward, but the front of it, the ball looking part of it, is very much the same at the bottom of the ball. It has that edge to it, okay? Now, what I want you to know is that Planet X has a reflection from space, from its geological point of view, its magnetic energies, its magnetic radiation energies, that even though it's millions of miles away, or hundreds of millions of miles away for that matter, it still casts something like a shadow. And a shadow with the electromagnetivity is penetrating through the how shall you call that, our magnetosphere. I like to call it force field. The ancient Egyptians, they actually built the pyramids to enhance the force fields, the geomagnetic surroundings of the earth, to make them stronger, so that way anything that came through would blow up upon entry. It's like a force field. It's electromagnetic. Okay? So now that you understand that, because I'm pretty sure you're not pretty stupid, you're pretty smart. If you're watching this video, you're pretty smart. So let me break this down a little bit, because it says, on earth as it is in heaven, as above, so below, which is the Illuminati slogan, right? So the Bible says on earth as it is in heaven. So if it is in heaven, we will see the effects on earth. And how will we notice these effects on earth? Well, all we have to do is take a look at our weather patterns. Now, we all know that the earth spins, and we all know as the earth is spinning, from what they say, the earth spins. And let's just go with their standpoint of view, okay? If the earth is spinning, and it's going around the sun as it's spinning, if it is on one side of the sun, let's say the left-hand side, which there is really no left or right-hand side out in space, but just for shits and giggles, let's just say that looking forward from your standpoint of view at the sun, and you're looking dead at the sun, let's say Planet X is on the left side of the sun, and the earth is in front of the sun, and it's to the left of the earth, right? Now, well, actually it would be on the right-hand side of the sun facing us, and it would be on the left-hand side of us facing the sun. So, anyways, now this thing as the Earth is spinning and it's where it's at, we see the effects in that part of the world. Now, let's say the further we get from the planet X, let's say we're going on the other side of the sun, right? From where planet X is. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Well, number one, the weather effects are not going to be as bad. They're going to simmer down. But as we wrap around the sun and we come out the other side and we start to get closer to this planet X and we do a roundabout, because Earth goes around the sun every year. And we know that this thing takes years and years and years, thousands of years to go into a complete orbit. 3,600 to 3,650 years, right? So as we're going around the sun, if this thing is millions and millions of miles, or hundreds of millions of miles away, as we're going around the sun, the closer we get to it as it's coming in, we're going to start feeling worse and worse weather patterns. We're going to start having more major earthquakes each year. We're going to, just to break it down for you in a very short and sweet and simple way, the closer we get to it as we come around the sun, when we do a sweep by, we're going to have worse weather effects, which means every kind of weather pattern you can think of, and earth effects, which means everything from volcanoes, earthquakes, storms, hail, tsunamis, which really hasn't happened, and I'm very surprised, because maybe I think it's keeping the waves and water at bay. Just everything. Hurricanes, tropical storms, everything you can think of is going to get worse. And they have been getting worse. The heat temperatures have been getting worse. The ice has been melting more and more each year. Also, as we get further away from it, after we wrap around and get closest to it, and then we start to go away from it again, we start to have, when we get to our furthest point, colder and colder weather and more ice buildup on a more rapid pace. And that's because the Earth is trying to compensate for its loss. But when we go back around, the thing is actually closer a little bit more, which is planet X. It's actually a little bit closer. It traveled more inward towards the sun. And we have to wrap around the sun. So when we wrap around the sun and we get all the way on the other side of the sun where planet X is coming nearby, we actually get even worse weather, and that's the cause and effect. So each year, summer and winter, it's going to be worse, because the closer we get, the hotter it gets, the more storms we get. The further away we get, the colder it's going to get, because it's compensating for all that loss. But it can't compensate fast enough. So the reproduction of the ice is less than the actual heat from the planet X when we get close to it. So you got to understand, it's not just simple mathematics that somebody's going to spit out, because people don't want to hear mathematics. They want to hear, where is it, when is it, and when will we actually get to see it up close and in person. And trust me, on the timeline that I have figured out, the last time that we had an encounter like this that was not very destructible, but off its beating path because the energy of the Earth was actually good. See, you got to understand something. When the energy of the Earth is positive, it pushes more of a magnetic field positive outward, and it pushes things away from it. Or at least it barricades the planet better, like a force field. And that is the people that are on the Earth. Now, back in those days, the people's faith was strong, I'm sure. And it reflected most of Planet X. So there wasn't, how shall you say, a catastrophic event. But what it did do during Noah, or not during Noah's days, what it did do during Moses' days was it parted the Red Sea. Now, they were influenced and they were guided by You may say angels, they may say angels, but if you really read the Bible, angels means extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrials is aliens. Aliens, angels, angels, aliens. You can put two and two together because Ezekiel actually talks about them. It gives it to you in finer detail. Now, with that being said, they were guided when to do things and when to go. They were being helped by a higher advanced level species. So they did what they did. And it says that God stretched his arm, his fiery arm, across the sea and spread it. Right? Well, the only thing that could separate the waters in the sea is a giant meteor or asteroid that skims across the surface of the earth, spreads it out, and the heat from the meteor or asteroid actually dries the sod, which is the soil and all vegetable life that's underneath on the soil. So it dries it so they can walk over it. Okay? So there is a special meaning to all this. It goes a lot deeper than what I'm explaining it to you now. If you want finer detail, I will be making a video step by step of everything that happened with a timeline and everything. It will be fully complete with immense detail. Enough to where scientists will recommend that YouTube take my video off the channel because I'm going to show you physics, I'm going to show you space, I'm going to show you trigonometry, I'm going to show you biology, I'm going to show you everything that plays a key role in every step of the event so you understand. But I'm just trying to cut to you the fast piece straight up without a chaser so that way you understand. These clouds that you see here is nothing more than a reflection of what you see here. Now, I turned the middle picture to exactly match the top picture. Only because if you look at the bottom picture, that's exactly how it would look going over the land out in space. That's exactly how it would look for that weather pattern. Just like that. But I wanted to show you these two pieces side by side so you could actually see the front of it very much resembles. If I had to draw a line around the whole thing, you would see that the front of it actually has that bottom niche in it, that bottom straight line and that curvature inward going up and then to the tail. Okay? It does change its formation the closer it gets. It did have wings for a little while it was out there. They gave it has 50 names. It's something that's been recorded throughout all of history. This is not something that has just been made up. It's something that's been recorded. And people are actually trying to bring you the truth, and these people on the news ain't even trying to cover this. Do you know why? Because they want to save their own asses. They feel that we are peasants. They feel that we aren't worth saving. They feel that they could survive and afterward they can thrive on a planet by themselves. Millions of just rich people. But it's not going to work out like that. Anyways, to end this video, I'm going to cut it short. But in my next video, I will be talking about artificial intelligence. I will be talking about Project Bluebeam and the fake alien invasion. And when they fake the alien invasion, they're going to come down. They're going to project fake ships in the sky with the Elon Musk satellites, Starlink satellites. And they're going to pretend that aliens are actually coming down and shooting people up with advanced weapons, which is nothing more than the government and their soldiers. And yes, they have advanced technology and advanced suits that can do almost anything. They could take on a hologram look and look like any creature they want it to look like. Remember, the stealth bomber was kept hidden for 20 years before we found out about it. And they only gave us that so we would stop looking into what they were doing. Just think of how far they've come and how far they will be when it happens. Now, on the timeline from the days of Moses, the parting of the Dead Sea, to now, till 2023, 2024, would be about 3,600 years, 3,650 years. So please, like, subscribe, and share. Get this video out to everybody you can if you're still watching it. May God be with you. God bless you all.